The Fabian Society, founded in the 1880s as a socialist think tank. They've made headlines in 2025 because the judge that ruled against the people of Epping in their bid to close down a migrant hotel is an active member of the Fabian Society. So people started asking questions. Who are these guys? Well, let's have a look at their logo. Now, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Quite a strange logo to pick, especially when you realise that several members of the current Labour government are also active members of the Fabian Society. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, the destroyer of London, actually acts as a vice chair of the Fabians. Now, it's not just the Labour Party. In the 1930s, there was a conservative Fabian movement set up through something called Astridge College. And the idea behind that was to create conservative Fabians. So it isn't just the Labour Party. This is a society and a way of thinking that kind of, transcends party politics. Now, George Bernard Shaw, you may well have heard of, very famous man. He was one of the founding members of the Fabian Society. So I thought to myself, well, let's have a little look at how he sees the world. If the Fabians are playing a role in our life now, we should probably know where they began. So here's George.
I object to all punishment whatsoever. I don't want to punish anybody.
That's okay. Okay, he objects to all punishment altogether. I mean, there's certain things that people do that probably need punishing, but okay.
But there are an extraordinary number of people whom I want to kill.
Okay, that's a little bit crazy, George.
Not in any unkind or personal spirit.
So not in any mean sort of spirited way, but he wants to kill people. Can you do that in a nice way? Euthanasia, I suppose. Assisted dying bill. Right, go on then, George, carry on, son.
But it must be evident to all of you. You must all know half a dozen people at least who are no use in this world.
You're sounding a little bit dark and twisted here, George. You must know of half a dozen people that have no use in this world.
Who are more trouble than they are worth. And I think it would be a good thing to make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as he might come before the income tax commissioners, and say every 5 years or every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence?
Okay, George, it's getting crazier, isn't it? When he started with, there's quite a few people I'd like to kill, I thought, okay, that's a little bit cray-cray, George. But now you've moved on to the fact that people in society are largely useless, or a lot of us probably are, and therefore every 5 years we should sit before a panel and say, this is why I shouldn't be dead.
If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight in the social vote.
Okay, if you're not pushing your weight socially. Okay, well, who decides that? Maybe a social credit score. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it, George?
If you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more.
Oh, George, mate. Well, actually, what I'm getting from this, where he's talking about consuming more than you put in, basically, I'm getting climate change vibes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you are.
Clearly, we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us, and it can't be of very much use.
Your life does not benefit us and cannot be of much use. Now, you can hear that and you go, oh, that's fine. That's the ramblings of a lunatic. There's plenty of lunatics out there. That's fine. He's long dead anyway. Don't worry about it. But I come back to the earlier point, the fact that several active members of our government, of the UK's government, are part of a society that he formed. That then, by very definition, was born out of this way of thinking. And then when you look at the state of the United Kingdom and you look at the way these politicians act, the absolute contempt they have for the common man. Every single one of these guys on big fat salaries, taking freebies for football matches and gigs and all sorts of things, taking backhanders to affect their decisions in Parliament in terms of what they vote for and what they don't vote for. While at the same time, they're all voting to cut disability benefit. They're voting for the assisted dying bill. He'd have loved that, George, wouldn't he? It's worth looking into the kind of organizations, the kind of societies, the kind of groups that these people follow, because it sounds really far-fetched. But these people have utter contempt for the general public. They actually hate us. And so it begs the question, why do we follow people like this? Why do we let people like this dictate to us on a daily basis in terms of what we can do, where we can go, how we can act, how much tax we've got to hand them? You wouldn't let someone like George, cray-cray lunatic, dictate your everyday lives, and yet we allow people that follow this way of thinking to dictate our lives every single day. It's madness, folks. Madness.